jungles here. What I don't want to see is Wukong. I think Wukong is a plague and is not at all up to speed with the current jungle meta right now. So I want to see some other things, whether that is the Skarner, whether that is us going back to the Lee Sin. Orianna being banned. I mean, in terms of priorities right now, we're kind of back to basics when it comes to
This is what I was waiting for. The Nocturne, which was banned away in every other game, is going to be let through. And it's going to go the way of Jiejie, even without the Orianna trying to go for this kind of assassin-style jungle. Very interesting to see what the rest of the setup is for them.
Wow. And something that we even haven't been able to take note of specifically for today's games, where has Yunara Lulu been all night? No priority on this 2v2. In my opinion, I think is the best conventional popular 2v2 lane. I think it wins most of the lanes that you have to play against and then scales like an absolute beast when you hit 3 and 4 items on Yunara. So I like this pairing, especially if we're saying that Jiejie is a amazing team fighter and Mako, if you give him an enchanter, can really just run the lane.
And we get the Corki Nami on the other side. So could still have some fun in that bot lane 2v2. Don't get baited. Don't get baited by hovers. Just look away. Go find Mimi.
Don't you dare lock in this Monkey King. I'm gonna be so sad.
Yeah, defy the coaches. Oh, well.
Dashai won an entire world championship defying his coaches. May have not played the next game, but
yeah, you might not. The context doesn't matter, though, right?
True.
So Wukong gets locked in. Very team fight focused right now for IG.
Yeah. My thing is that Nocturne, Corki, Nami, specifically this bot lane pair, has so much extra range and the ability to poke out that I am worried that a Wukong means that we're not going to see very much jungle attention early on. This champion doesn't have great ways of getting ganks early, and while Nocturne isn't known for his early ganks, he can actually be a pretty decent skirmisher depending on what the 2v2 looks like in his mid lane. So that's kind of the big focus for me. I'm glad that Breathe is showing respect by getting rid of the Vayne, but again, without any ranged top laners coming in from Breathe, I actually think that Zika's pool can be really, really dangerous here, just from what we have seen from him so far this year.
And you need something front line, at least right now with the comp. Something to give you some setup. You'll have the paranoia, but things that can follow up on that or at least be a stabilizing factor are going to be super important for Weibo. You do see the K'Sante ban by them as well. See a lot more top lane focus in this game number 3 in the second phase.
So K'Sante, we already have Rumble, Jace, and Bessa and Gnar. So what else are we really looking for? Sion is okay. I really do like the, well, no, oh yeah, I guess Sion is kind of it for what we're looking at, but
yeah.
I wonder if you are willing to give over Sion to IG just so you can get like a Jax matchup for Zika, because that sounds really incredible. Gwen ban almost assuredly tells me we're going for Sion here. And then we're still talking about mid lane. What are we looking for? Are we going to get something? It's going to be a Renekton. Okay. I think Renekton into Nami Corki sounds extremely miserable, but be my guest.
Yeah, that's going to be tough. You could find angles if you get big enough, I guess. If you get fed enough, it doesn't matter in League of Legends sometimes. But we'll see that stabilizing factor come through for Weibo more than likely, at least for Zika and the Sion being available. Don't think it's too bad into the Renekton either, especially with the later part of the game being that kind of wall for the team.
There it is. We got baited by the
Gauntlet
hover.
Drawn.
There we go. I was waiting for Zika to do this. And the Twisted Fate. And we get a Yasuo hover. I can't believe in his debut series, Nya is going to get counterpick into Xiaohu to determine who is going to win this series and move up to 4 series wins in the LPL.
3 times, right?
Yeah,
3
a lot
times
of different options. I'm okay with that. Set your rookie up for success. Let him get a comfort and see what he is going to draw. You can see that Coach Helper standing behind him, seeing, hey, what are you thinking about? I know Mel was something that we actually just saw that I thought had some legs to stand on. We're going to go for the Victor that's going to be able to push on sides. I think this is an interesting draft from Weibo. My problem here I don't think Jwei is the appropriate jungler for the kind of game that IG want to play. And once we get out of lane, Twisted Fate can go bot lane and they can dive this Yunara Lulu. They can even go top lane with Jax, Twisted Fate, and Nocturne, and they can dive this Renekton. Depending on what build we see from Nya, he might not even have enough damage to kill them because he has to go into like the Rod of Ages and health builds, so he doesn't get dove on later in the game.
And I'd love to get your perspective on this trio.
We're breaking
for
out
Weibo.
the cat ears for Nya.
I like it. Nya needs it going to this one. You've got such a lethal trio in terms of the paranoia, the Destiny Gate being dropped, so you come in when nobody can see you, can have insta stuns. You have the Jax that's gonna be jumping away in Counter-Strike. Like that execution is the bread and butter of this comp right now. Feels like for Weibo, and they're relying a lot on some of the veteran members of the squad to get it done.
That's where it kind of comes into fruition, whether or not we will actually see this Weibo composition go forward. They do not have a traditional front line. I think Nami solves some of those issues. So this is going to be one where it is all execution based. What did we say coming into this game? Everything we wanted to see and nothing we wanted to see are all going to happen at the same time. This is going to be a messy game 3, but it is going to be at the very least entertaining.
I'm here for it, and I'm here for a game 3. I've had a lot of 2-0s I've casted, so finally getting a 3-gamer, and of course it's IG versus Weibo, game 3 kicking off now. God, what I wouldn't give to be in the stadium in China once again. It's electric, man. Get to see all the people having a good time and obviously still cheering on the teams going into the later night. And especially with a very curious draft for the early game. Because I feel like if somebody gets out ahead, it's going to feel really, really good. Either side having a little bit of a snowball advantage. But opposite side starts for both junglers. So unless we get some of that unique pathing that we had gotten in that game number 1, some differing focuses in this game 3.
Yeah, really interesting to see that they already spotted Nocturne on his first camp going for the Raptors. He's going to finish on his red. You can see that Weibo did put a ward on enemy blue, so they know that Wukong is on the bottom side of the map. This could be a situation where Nocturne just decides, I'm going to flash over the Baron Pit wall, and we're just going to invade. I mean, this is a Jax into a Renekton early. Most times Renekton isn't really going to have very many options into this champion, so what your job is essentially is to survive and try to find ways to be able to play later on, especially because Breathe decided to elect for the Conqueror instead of the laning rune that we have seen, which is the Grasp of the Undying for this champion.
Yeah. I wonder if that's going to come back in the future to think about. But at least, hey, some push prio for IG's bot lane here. They are just fully in. Got the level advantage, obviously, and just going to try to use some of this poke they can while Corki is still pretty weak.
Usually Corki is super strong in the early levels. Unfortunately, if Yunara is allowed to get her fully stacked Q, you never win any trades, especially with a Lulu right next to her. So early wards didn't get the spot out enemy jungle, but this does mean that Jiejie and Jwei are going to finish at the exact same time for their camps. They're going to go into Scuttle, and now they can kind of see who's going to go first. There's actually slightly advantage towards Jwei because he can go and grab a timer and see when the Raptors are going to be back up. Oh, he's just dropping this entire Scuttle. Okay, it actually stays leash.
He gets it.
I thought it would have reset.
Little move from Xiaohu. He's backing, and he had already used his TP. So a bit unfortunate as we take a look in the 2v2 here. Alk getting traded down very nicely.
Yeah.
If you're an
they're
IG
bringing
fan.
Wait, they're bringing Breathe for this. Yes.
This is what I'm just. He wasn't even really out of mana. Xiaohu back, and now he's full health, full mana. Going to come out here. The camp's already gone though. So Weibo lose a lot of prio in the early game because of that mid lane situation.
Yeah, I loved that move there, by the way, because when you try to play against a Nocturne on Raptors, it is near impossible. His Q covers the entire jungle camp, and then with his AoE from his passive, the champion is just way too OP to deal with. So I'm glad that IG instead respected that, brought over the enemy top laner, and they got a ward down. So Breathe spent his one trinket ward to spot out these Krugs as well. So they've got essentially perfect information for the next 45 seconds as to where this Nocturne can be.
Yeah. Oh, I think he might have put himself in a precarious position here. He's going to get the yellow card to the face, but he's still pretty healthy and will lean over to Wei, so he'll be just fine for the now, and didn't even burn the flash. Xiaohu did.
The future is now, old man. What this Victor is saying.
I mean, he's been doing pretty good so far this series.
He's been good. I would generally agree with you, Lennon, that the flash and the teleport from Xiaohu is a little strange.
It was weird.
My explanation for this is that because he has Unsealed Spellbook, he is more willing to use some of these spells more flagrantly because he's going to get access to things like Ghost, like Heal, and he can even take other combat summoner spells that might help him. I think Exhaust is going to be a very big one this game.
Control ward in the back of the bush there. We'll spot out the dragon. Wei is bolting over here, trying to contest this one. Movement from the bot lane of Weibo, though, should help secure it. Got half health now. Looks like IG want to move in. They're going to move their bot lane too. It's a 4v3 right now. Xiaohu doesn't have Destiny. He cannot get over to this fight. And Jiejie, he's going to use the spell shield, but it's not blocking anything. He's going to get flashed on by Nya, who goes for the first blood for IG, and he's still alive. It is amazing how tanky this Victor is early game, as it's going to be Wei who turned back around onto the dragon. He's going to smite that away.
What are we doing?
Has overextended. Jiejie splashes forward. That's going to be the yellow card. He's still alive.
GG.
It's a double kill for Jiejie, and go ahead and pack it home, Weibo. Your puppeteering is done over IG.
6 minutes, 4-0, got the first dragon, 2,000 gold. Let's wrap this one up, boys. Really well played, and you had kind of noted, hey, Xiaohu, that back seemed a little bit weird. Well, guess what? Now it gets level 6 before him, and the Arcane Storm, I think, is what breaks this one. Really intelligent play. I'm glad that we were kind of speculating why they were going to try to fight for this, but that completely spells out why they wanted to go for this. And Nya getting that kill, and then watching Mako walk forward, gives him the heal. Nada's never takes any damage. This is a Catalyst of Aeon's Twisted Fate. He does no damage in this fight. And I want to give some props to Hong because he lands a really impressive bubble, but why are we walking up there as Elk with such little health?
Yeah. It's question marks for sure, and Mako finishing off Hung is just the cherry on top. And now you got massive leads across the board for IG. We have Grubs coming up in about a minute as well, so more map control if they can put themselves over towards that side of the map. We will see, though, Wei is clearing down towards bot side right now to finish off his red buff and everything else.
Dude, if I'm Zika, I'm pressing tab. I'm like, guys, we are a scaling comp. What did we just do? Why did we just ruin the game at 8 minutes? Like, can we play a normal early game where we don't decide to just send it for the boys?
But isn't that what you're kind of doing when you get this Nocturne? I mean, I know Nocturne is typically not super involved in the earlier game, but I mean, you want to try to be in an advantage. You don't want to just be a light switcher.
Yeah, but your mid laner decided to take a recall, and we're down a full level.
Oh my god, Hung is just dead.
GG.
Hung is just dead. Paranoia gets popped. Jiejie is going to go in thinking about it, but 2 members of IG show up. This is excellent from IG. Maybe the mid lane change was just what they needed.
Look, the only thing positive I will say for Weibo there is that IG did not need all 4 members. They thought this was going to be a much bigger play than it was. And Joshy's like, oh yeah, actually Hong's just dead in front of me. He does not really get to play the game here. So IG already up 1,800 gold.
Oh, he's going to Arcane Storm. He's just going to try to go for a solo bolo. He's been threatening it over and over again in this series. He's looking for the final piece.
Wow.
He won't get him. Almost down to 200 health there, though, and Xiaohu forced away. He will have the TP to get back. Also, can we just talk about that Nya already has upgraded laser? Like,
There are so many small pieces to this game that I am loving from Invictus Gaming. Right, we're seeing now this new LDL player come in from Top Esports Challengers and kind of give hands over to Xiaohu in almost the majority of all 3 of these games. And now in this game 3, he gets counterpick again and is just thriving on this victor. I mean, now he has 3 grubs as well. This is a good early game yet again from Invictus Gaming, 3 games in a row.
Yeah. And this is the kind of stuff I love to see as a, as a coaching comp and things like that. When you're leaning towards your new player, being able to give them counterpick for 3 games in a row and give them the comfort they need to feel like they can excel. And I think a lot of times in pro play, we can see moments where that doesn't always happen, right? A lot of times new players are forced to mold into what the team needs. And the team needed a mid laner that would be able to conform and play towards this jungle, and they've done so beautifully.
That role is called support. Most support players, you do not get a choice. It is, you will be playing Nautilus, you will be playing Lulu, you might even get a Nami game if you're feeling good. You know, we've been seeing rookies, some of the other rookies really start to kind of go into their own. I think a lot of that is thanks to Fearless. Individual pocket picks have a lot of big value if you can get a free win off of them. I think of, I mean, even the guy that he replaced, Renard, picking up a couple of LeBlanc games, also had his Xerath game, which unfortunately didn't go his way, but I think that's more so his team did not play to his strengths. We also had a player like Jwei on, who isn't a rookie per se, but got to play things like a Lee Sin top the other night, which was led to a win.
Hey, I'm here for it. Paranoia gets popped. There's the combo we were asking for from Draft, and they finally strike gold. It's going to be a kill on the Nya. It's going to be a decent amount of gold going over to Jiejie as well. And that's one of the plays that are in the arsenal of Weibo.
That's what I wanted to see when we have a Nocturne and this Twisted Fate. You always have the pick potential. It was also a great timing because Nya did not have teleport, or yeah, just previously had used teleport recently. Did have flash, so that was something that they could have punished. No dragon being started. We also could see Xiaohu actually walk bottom lane here. There is no paranoia, but I don't think they care about that. I think they were just looking to try to buy Elk and Hong a recall. If anything spicy gets going, maybe they just go for dragon instead.
And dragon being up is huge now as well, being able to get that 1-1 in the stacking. Xiaohu also has Destiny available to him, so they want to try to make a proactive play. They could. Breathe is just fine, dashing through the turret. Gonna get the plate too on the back end, so trying to keep his head above water in that top lane matchup. It is gonna be IG that assumed priority over the Dragon Pit now, though.
No Cyclone and no Arcane Storm. I'm less enthusiastic about IG prepping for this fight. And I think the fun parts about Weibo's draft is how easy it is for them to reposition in a fight. Kind of similar to what we saw with the Pantheon earlier and the Rise. If they decide, hey, we actually don't like going into a front to back and we want to dive your back line, we can just drop our Twisted Fate there with a gold card and look really aggressively. Instead of contesting for Dragon, I like this from Jiejie. Go into the top side, get those camps, and also get the timers for them. So you know the only place that Wei can be is either going for a gank, maybe on this bottom lane, or going into his bottom side camps. I think you need to be careful. This is a weird back from Xiaohu. I don't think he's allowed to ult back to this bottom lane to protect them.
Frost Bomb does a lot.
Yes.
Nico gets mega chunked. We'll be okay. The wave just going to get cleared out here, and Jiejie will make his way back over to his side of the jungle. Got out like a bandit there, as the full clear at least is going to be attempted by Wei as he makes his way up. But I guess that next conversation is thinking about when these item breakpoints are going to be the big deal. I mean, obviously we talked about some of the scaling for the side of IG, especially in that bot lane and mid lane. I gotta say though, some of the scaling can truly be there for Weibo as well.
I mean, 2-item Corki is really disturbing to play against. You already have the Imperial mandate, so you've already kind of hit one of those soft power spikes. And Twisted Fate on 4 is actually fairly strong. It just takes a long time with Rod of Ages, and then you have to go Lichbane, and then you have RFC. I feel like that's when this champion really starts to get into the apex of his power. Just having that extra range and ability power requisite is really, really strong. Seems like IG, though, they are completely focused with these 3 grubs on just getting all of the turret plates. I like that when really the only thing that's stopping Jiejie from being the most broken champion in the game is gold.
You're right about that. I'm absolutely here for it.
Dude. Mazel, what is going on with Xiaohu? Why is he so far behind on his mid quest? He is just taking perma recalls every single wave.
That's what I'm trying to figure out, because like there's been some really weird recalls that he's had. It's been putting his team off kilter here, and now he will get pushed under turret. He's just gonna go down here. There's nothing to save him. A big kill, and I think the fangs have retracted for Xiaohu, our Spring King, the Tiger.
Yeah. And I also just hate this lane assignment. I won't lie. Like, I know the play was almost there, man. Like, for Weibo, like, Hung is on his way. Corki also shifted. Zika was already coming down. This could have been a play for them to actually look, but Xiaohu didn't have flash. If he had flash, maybe he flashes backwards. He's able to bait IG further into the play. But now, what you've given up is a kill. The bot lane turret. Jiejie's up 2,000 gold here. And Breeze got to hit top turret. Jiejie was hitting, we even got to see Nya hit a mid wave. So, it feels like Weibo are way too comfortable with giving up or giving up resources and really aren't getting very much on the cross.
And my God, Jiejie is just monstrally ahead. This guy has been putting on a clinic here this series so far, and it's over Elk, a guy who went from in split 1 having like a huge amount of MVPs to not having, I believe, a single one still here in the split 2, and Jiejie just has his number, is looking for it again. Might just be ringing his phone, dodging out of the tidal wave. There's going to be Hung taking a huge brunt of damage as well. He's going to get the flash out of him as well. And Jiejie just turns his sights onto Elk. But here comes the paranoia, the destiny. It's going to be enough. No, he gets out with a nice flash. And now Xiaohu's going to die again. Is he going to get out? He's going to flash onto the honey fruit. And he does make it out. That chaos storm, or arcane storm rather, going to be a little bit late. Now it does throw up the thumbs up.
Herald spawned now. Dragons in a minute and a half. Yet another game where IG get all 3 dragons early on. I guess I'm being a bit presumptuous here. It's only 2, but I'm expecting for IG to continue their just massive, massive control over this objective. They're going to go for Herald. I mean, there's really no contest. There's no destiny. There's no paranoia. And I am feeling worse and worse about my Weibo prediction. I can't believe I yet again decided to believe.
I'm just so enamored with Jiejie. It's like 2K leads across every game almost. I think game 1 was a little bit quiet, but incredible stuff from this guy who, you know, we've wanted to see try to break that mold and at least break into the sphere of these ADCs that everybody talks about in the LPL. He's on 2 items now on the Yunara. And that's going to feel pretty damn good. 3-0-2 as well. And the team comp just kind of molds together very well for IG in these next fights. Speaking of, that dragon is coming up now, getting close to the contest.
I just don't think you have the room to be able to contest here from Weibo. By the way, I mentioned that mid-quest not being done like 4 minutes ago. Still not there. So no empowered recall available. They have Herald, which, if IG want, they can use this as a battle herald. It seems like they may just try to use this to move themselves in. Jiejie, remember, Mako is your best friend here in this game. You do not want to walk up when he is walking down into river.
That's just the whole turret. Rift Herald gets the play. He's going to be killed immediately after, but it does give IG prio to move into the river here. Weibo going to circle around, wondering if they're going to want to contest this one. I mean, if I'm IG, I'm looking at Jiejie having completed 2 items and knowing what the Fiend Hunter Bolts does for Yunara. I don't want to fight this, as Jiejie might learn that the hard way, as he is indeed. Those hits hurt, as he's going to get Xiaohu as well. The Arc of Ruin does end up ruining Xiaohu, and now Nya is going to get flanked by Zika, who found a beautiful TP, but Mako's right next to him. Yeah, with a sidestep there. The bubble. My God, man.
Style on him.
Dude, get this guy some tap shoes, man. Holy.
And they're going to go for mid. It's kind of their best play at this point.
Oh, man. Elk is just falling apart here. He's going to pop the barrier. He is down. IG They're looking to break that curse that we mentioned that Weibo has over them. They're looking to end this massive loss streak that they've been on.
19 minutes and a 7,000 gold lead. Immediately they went on to Jiejie. No answers. No way for him to really deal damage in this one. And look at Zika. Zika TP'd for this play to find a flank, and they didn't even kill Nya. They got his flash. It's as good as it's going to have to get right now. Now on soul point.
Now feeling himself a little bit too much there.
All
He
right.
will end up falling. Going down into the side lane to Zika, who does build himself a little bit of a solo advantage, at least, with a kill. Might be one of the only things that Weibo can speak of right now is the Jax. Can he get to a point of promise? But full control of the game, of the series now for IG. And let's be real, this is looking like a 3-0 for IG at this point.
Yeah. This was essentially a 3-0 series here for IG in a best of 3. They won 90% of game number 1 and then lost it at the very tail end of it. And I think Jiejie has done really, really well. Again, I want to give him praise for the series that he has played here today against this competition, against legendary players in the LPL, and going against Alk, who I got a lot of flack for saying that Alk is not one of the greatest AD carries in the split right now. Part of that is just, again, he's had to start from scratch with 2 different supports to start off both splits of 2026. So already I think you were on a back foot. But Jiejie also had to do the same thing, and he had to join a completely different team. Whereas Weibo kept all 4. And while Alk's team fighting has been great, I don't think the drafts, nor has some of the setup really gone his way.
Oh, the Destiny is in. Jiejie overextending. Zika's here now too. The Counter-Strike lanes. He's going to flash.
Guys.
He's out of there. Paranoia finally coming in. A 4th hit has made its home as Jiejie will get the kill there. Breathe taking down Zika in the side now though, and Jiejie needs to be careful. Nya is going to start punking everything here as he's got the big Arcane Storm coming through as well. They're going to find the CC lockdown, and Breathe is the one that comes up with 3 kills there as I guess the Renekton is just OP, bro.
He's level 15. It doesn't matter if you don't do well into the individual matchup early. You can just walk up to a team fight and press W. That kind of solves a lot of your issues. You saw how long it took Weibo to kill Jiejie. If it was just that kill and maybe got one more, it's even better. Zika and Alk, 2v4. And they stop this Baron.
I don't know if they can, but they're going to try. Alk is here. He's going to try to get the Phospon some damage in. Bree just locks down Zika, and Zika's about to die again. Flash from Mako gets him out, and Alk Valkyries away. Baron secured by IG, and the lead still safely in their hand.
If everything was just more even, this Weibo comp would not feel as bad, but giving over those 4 kills to start and then just constantly
How does he live,
many
bro?
recalls from Xiaohu. Cleanse, shields, wild growth. And then he gets another shield, because why not? And then he walks over, almost gets some of those honey fruit. That would have been cherry on top. We don't end up getting that. It's just a 1 fight. I mean, they're already so far ahead that, considering how much it took for them to kill 1 person, the fight
That's
was
the thing. You literally use your entire tank of gas to kill 1 person. You still have to deal with the entire rest of the team, who most of them have shut down now, by the way. As the lead is monumental for IG, and what a moment for this team. It's been fluctuations. It's been wondering what to do at mid lane. They have found a new mid laner, and at least for this series, it's looking like it might change the trajectory of IG in the latter half of this round 2.
I want to get excited about Nya, but I want to see more. I don't want to jump the gun, especially because his next series for this guy, you will be playing against Shanks, who I think is probably 2nd best mid laner in the tournament right now, unless someone else has a convincing enough argument as to someone else.
I agree.
I would
think
say
Shanks
generally
is,
that was Cream, but I know folks tonight are probably going to look at his performance, and I think that's fair. So
yeah, it
top
is, but
3
it's
at the
also
very
a
least.
caveat. Yeah, I mean, I feel like Cream is still looking pretty good. Sometimes the series is just rough, a little bit rotten. This one is turning rotten for Weibo, though. And with how important the series is for the standings as we move forward, at least we'll know in the future how important this series really does end up becoming. It's going to be Weibo looking for a play. They're trying to put it together finally. A little bit off target there, though, as it's going to be the full engage with the double bubble there. But now IG, they're forming ranks. They've got the Arcane Storm kicking. They've got a giant Croc just biting down on Weibo, and the lead is just too damn big, Alk. They've got monkeys. They've got Crocs. They've got the whole damn animal kingdom on the side of Invictus Gaming.
Well, I did say that Xiaohu is a 3-item champion. When you're playing Twisted Fate, you need the Lich Bane. That's already done. Rapid Fire Cannon, not quite on the cards quite yet. Also, when really far... Can we just kill Mako instead, guys? Instead of going for Jiejie, I know he's 3,000 gold up, but Lulu's a fairly easy target to go for. Doesn't seem like that's going to be the case. They still have Baron, by the way, if anybody was still wondering. It's going to be a 4,000 Baron power play coming on through for Invictus Gaming, who also now get the Soul. So, congratulations, IG. You moved up to 4 and 5.
Yeah, almost a 10,000 gold lead 25 minutes in, and you just look at Weibo, and we'll take a little bit of a look here now and probably talk about it afterwards, but how did we get here, man? How did this happen? Because this team, on paper, not only should be functioning, should find wins, but the roller coaster is alive now more than ever with Weibo.
This has happened for at least the last 3 years.
The last 3 years, maybe even 4.
Yeah, I mean, like, you would think a team that has Breathe, Tarzan, Xiaohu, Light, and Crisp, that should be a championship contending team. And hey, they made finals, right? They made finals in 2024 summer. Last year, Breathe, Tien, Xiaohu, Light, and Crisp. Had Hong at the beginning, had a little bit of Erha. Barely made top 4 in a lot of these splits. They were able to make top 5, top 6 consistently, but that's it. How do we see this downfall? I really do think it has to come from the mid. And,
oh my God.
Alk.
Elk goes down to 1 and 3, and this might just be the herald of the end, and the herald was already used earlier by IG. As they're going to try to go for it. Oh my God, Jiejie is feeling himself right now,
Hell
man.
Yeah,
he
brother.
is transcended, and he is a 1. As they're going to try to get this last little tick of damage. Oh, I wonder if they can actually just take the turret with the might. They're literally killing it with the might. They finally have the minion wave on the other side as well. It's going to take this one down. Paranoia gets used. You can see where Weibo's comp could have functioned if they were ahead, but that is not the case. They do jump on the back line, and they do get 1, at least
Doesn't
for
matter.
Wei, but it's an
Game's
instant
over.
trade for 2. The Nexus is bare. IG, they finally do it. They end the loss streak, and they find a win over Weibo. 2-1.
Shout out to Wei, by the way. Throws out a little RNG emote there at the end. Some revenge for some former teammates. I'm sure that Wei and Breathe are going to feel good taking down Xiaohu. But I am just sad now. I am just sad. Every time I say I'm not going to believe in Weibo to win a series, and then for some reason, I convince myself at the very last moment to change. And for IG, good job, Nya. You got your first win, and it's in your first series in the LPL. You got to say you took down Xiaohu. That's it.
That's awesome. That is awesome. You love those little moments. And for Weibo, give them one last spotlight. Feels bad, man. Like, I don't know what's going on with Elk. Gotta figure it out. I don't know what's going on with Xiaohu. Gotta figure it out. Because time's ticking in the second round robin.
The fact that they got 4th, by the way, in split 1 is the surprise. And that's why I think that
And it was like a late season comeback, too, that got them there.
It was just a lower bracket run. I mean, they went to 5 games versus top esports. And they could have won. They could have lost that series very handily. That was Jiejie actually on the opposite side from them, taking them down or not taking them down. For Weibo, it's not only the names on paper; it's their recent performances. If they hadn't made a last-minute resurgence into 3rd place in the regular season, maybe we wouldn't have as many high hopes. If they hadn't made a lower bracket run and made 4th. Maybe this is a different team that we could have been having, or 3rd anyway. This could have been a much bigger team. But I don't know. I don't know who to blame on Weibo. I know last series I was saying or last game I didn't want to really blame anybody, but like whether it is the GMs who continue to believe that Xiaohu will get it together one of these series, or if it's one of these guys on the team, but something's got to change. Xiaohu's been on this lineup for 3 years now.
Last thing I'll say, that early part of the game needs to be studied. I don't know what happened in mid lane. I don't know why we were backing every second, but it was a tough place to be. But let's talk about the positive side of things. And obviously we talked about Nya having a great debut, but it's the pieces around him that I really love to highlight. I mean, I think Mako, his Enchanter play tonight was incredible. We were able to see a lot of great things from him tonight as well, lifting up Jiejie to be on such high precipices. 2,000 gold lead pretty much every game for Jiejie in that bot lane 1v1. But also giving some praise to Jwei, who on the Wukong made it work when we were kind of doubting it as well. Breathe, having an insane performance on Renekton, finding a triple kill at one point. And it's the pieces coming together. And it might be a one-off. You can be a one series Andy if you want for Nya, but it was a holistic team effort.
I'm just looking at that goal difference right at the 5-minute mark. The game ended. Like the 4 kills going over, that should not happen. I don't know. I feel bad because I feel like a broken record, but like IG got handed a lot of free gimmies. It's like, oh cool, we'll get 4 kills. Hey, we took a strong 2v2. We had the Yunar Lulu, and we were also able to win early fights. And we got the first dragon, which was incredible for us. Like, so many things went right for them that I do want to praise them, especially looking at this top side. 10 and 13 between Breathe and Jwei with 0 deaths is incredible.
Yeah.
But I am struggling to see how you're going to be able to replicate some of the things that happened in these games versus the better teams. And we have seen that even in the first round robin.
And that's going to be the true test for this roster. But at least at this point, expect to see Nya around more. I think I want to see what he can do with the champ pool. I just think it's so Chad that first game on stage, pick the Akali. You have one job, eliminate Elk. He does it. Still ends up losing, unfortunately. But that's his entrance into the LPL, which is awesome to see. And we'll just get the Jiejie highlight reel here as we get going to the end of the day.
This play, man. Oh,
dude, Mako, he's bloodthirsty, man. We got to see Mako Lux tonight. That's awesome.
That's true. That's true. We got to see a really fed Jhin.
True. That did happen.
I'm looking at the match history for Weibo right now, by the way. This happens every week. First series, first week, they play against AL02. They win that game 1 versus NIP, and it's like, wow, maybe this team has hands. Maybe they... Nope, 2-0 after that. Okay, cool.
Yep.
Lose to BLG, sure, scheduled loss, that happens. They lose the game 1 to IG, and then it's like, okay, the second and third game... Good drafts. Good drafts is what was most important there. Setting ourselves up for success. Not flipping the game early. Perfect. That's what I want to see. A game 1 versus JDG where I was like, holy crap, if we get this Weibo every single day, every game, series in, series out, this team could actually perform for top 3. Then 2 games in a row where the drafts aren't great and the performances from some of our players is just bewildering.
Yeah.
And then the WE food bank came through. We got our donation. We got our +2 on the game. It's not happening. They are not winning a game.
It's happening. One game. Game. They had like 15 minutes against BLG that they did really good. No, okay, I'll break first. Fine. It's fine. One day WE. But
I will
one
give
day
you
IG.
The one WE point is that if you pause the game at 8 minutes, they're a great team.
Can we just do that?
No. Do you want to be in another pause? You want the EDG pause again
God.
at 8 minutes?
Dude, that's still one of the weirdest situations in my entire casting career. Anyways, just any last thoughts on this series, or maybe even today, even the earlier series, Alk?
Today was, I think not only today, but this week so far has been really eye-opening for breaking open the league. It started off with that AL2 over IG. It was like, okay, they're actually starting to kind of bring things together. The Weibo series versus Top Esports, which then eventually kind of got us to this now Top Esports downfall, who are on a 0-4 win streak after going 12-0 in games.
We had all these graphics ready for like the longest win streak, or like games won. No.
Yeah. And then, like, Thunder Talk ended up losing yesterday versus LGD, which I think was minorly surprising with how Thunder Talk looked in their first two. The EDG series, like, Ultra Prime could have won that game 3, but they came back. This is a very fun week in a league that I thought was going to... Halfway through week 4, I was like, maybe the league is solved, and we'll just wait till playoffs. But, yeah.
Goes in a circle, Alk. It always goes in a circle. If we can bring up those standings here, we can talk about how this league is kind of opening up a little bit as well. Still a lot of games to be played in Group Ascent. Not that many games to be played in Group Nirvana, but things, starting to even keel a little bit and starting to return to maybe some of the norms, I guess, especially for AL back in Group Ascent.
Now, this is, not gonna lie, this is kind of where I saw the standings be when we entered the split. Maybe not JDG in 4th, but thinking that AL would hopefully kind of get their act together. I will admit I was on a little bit of an AL hate watch for some of the season after seeing their early
No way NIP at 5 though. That's the shocker.
I did not like the IG roster, so
okay.
Yeah, I was not a big fan, and I'm sad to see Weibo at 7th, right? Like,
yeah,
that is a big one. But you're right, NIP has been the big excitement of this season so far for a team that is not previously of Group Ascend, but it seems like they're also starting to cool off a little bit.
Yeah, I'm very curious how these next couple weeks are going to go down. Still a lot of games to be played, like we were saying, but also those very stressful last few series for the Nirvana teams. That being said, though, what a day. Wasn't 6 games, but we at least got 1-3. This might be, I'm not super sure because I don't remember very well, but this might be my first game 3, which I'm happy for. And I've had a lot of 2-0s. But it was a lot of fun to see at least some of the attempts of Weibo to try to stabilize things. But it's nice to see IG rise to the top with the new mid laner. We'll see exactly what happens with him in the future. But for now, that is going to be it from us today. We'll be back tomorrow with more LPL action here on LPL English. And we will see you on Summoner's Rift.
Wait, no, you got to do the read, brother. You got to do the read.
We didn't do it last night, though. So.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Right,
put the coffee in the bag. Let's go.
Thank you for the coffee. Elite subscribers here to coffee supporters, Aaron, Soup, and Mung. Pledge, obviously, financial contributions help so much on the daily product here. It goes towards paying everything that you see here on the brand, the package itself, but also all the volunteers that go into making this a nearly daily event going on. Obviously, we have a couple days off this year, or at least this split. But shout out to our coffee supporters. And if you want to become an elite coffee supporter, please go check out our coffee today.
All right. Only thing I have left to say before we go out, tomorrow is the last Super Day. We have 3 series tomorrow. Please tune in. We're going to be going live at midnight PST. Go do your own local conversion for times. All right, Lennon, let's send her home.
We're going out. We're going to see you tomorrow a little bit earlier, those 2 hours earlier, and a lot of series for the day. We'll see you there, and we'll see you in LPL.